Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Today, we got a pretty interesting show that I think is going to be a little bit thought-provoking. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel, and also be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. Anyway, let's get into this topic here. So yesterday we produced a show reacting to some comments that Kyrie Irving made when he was coming to the defense of Karl Anthony Towns. People have reacted to it the way that they decided to react to it. So we're just kind of going through out there to see what was being said. And I came across some sound here, just by happenstance, literally. I was just scrolling through TikTok, and I came across some sound from Kyrie Irving, kind of exposing some of the fake activism that we have that goes on in the NBA and sports in general, right? And people in general. Now, if you know anything about Kyrie, I wouldn't call Kyrie an activist. I would say that Kyrie Irving is someone that is principled, that stands on what he believes, and is not afraid to be the man on an island by himself. If you go back and look at him historically, Kyrie is not afraid of going against the grain. Whether you agree with him or not is one thing, but he's just somebody that's just when he's firm in his convictions, he's a man of conviction. Let's put it like this. Going all the way back to the mandate, when I think this was during his Brooklyn Nets days, when they said in order for you to play, you need to get vaccinated. Kyrie Irving refused, right? He refused, and a lot of people got on him. A lot of people supported him. That was one position that he took. He's taken many other positions in the past. The last one that he got himself, when he didn't get himself, and I think people put him in some drama, was when he was essentially attacked for putting out a tweet in which he didn't say anything, and then people started calling him an anti-Semite, and it just ballooned into this mess of a situation. His former governor of the former team he used to play with, Joe Tsai, started to reprimand him, and then people were just piling on him. Even LeBron James was piling on him. All kind of crazy stuff, right? Ultimately, Kyrie was able to get out of that situation, get out of there, get to Dallas, and he's played well. He made it to the NBA Finals since then. He's just doing his thing. So anyway, I came across this sound from Kyrie where he was talking about the people that just run away when real situations arise, right? When faced with moments where you have to give a position on something tangible that's happening out there in the world, these people just simply cower. And I'm like, this is fantastic, because I believe he's speaking to a lot of the fake activism from players that goes on out there, where players try to act like as if they're activists, but when the rubber hits the road, they just all cower in fear and they all run away. And I'm like, this is pretty interesting stuff here. But before we even get into what Kyrie's comments were, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what I want to do is I'm going to play exactly what Kyrie Irving had to say there, and then we're going to come back and react to his commentary. Take a listen to Kyrie Irving here.
Too many coincidences happening. Yeah, I'm in these rooms. Yeah, right? Where everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be a billionaire. Everybody wants the money. Everybody wants the best girl in the room. Everybody wants to be cool. But as soon as something sparks outside in humanity in the real world, being in these rooms with some of these individuals, they talk so tough about what they want to do and how they're going to change things. And then, eventually they run into something more powerful where it stops them. And, I don't need to go into more detail. You guys know that in this chat. But it's crazy to watch somebody you looked up to kind of downplay who they are and downplay their position on this earth. That's really what I'm getting at. When I see people in my community or people from my community shrink, because I've shrunk in the moment plenty of times, and felt like I had to be more apologetic instead of strategically prepared. That makes sense.
So you heard what Kyrie had to say. What are my thoughts on this? Look, we can look at this from the micro, macro level. Okay, if we look at it from a sports standpoint, all right, let's start from a sports standpoint, micro, and then go macro. On a micro level, on a sports level, there are a lot of people in sports that I personally believe that don't say what they believe. I believe a lot of people are grifting in sports media. I think that you seldom get an organic take from people where you hear exactly what they think. I think a lot of people have marching orders, they dance the scripts, and they don't really say what they say. I think behind closed doors, they say what they truly mean, but out in the open, they're just up there twerking, right? They're just up there twerking it up. Let's get to the second level of this. If you look at the NBA as a league, the NBA is a politically active organization. Yes, they have players and all of that, but when it came time to take certain political stances, the NBA has been front and center where they have been pushing their beliefs, which is fine, by the way, right? If you have a belief, push it, right? Just understand that, they're give and takes with that. There are pros and cons to that, where people may shy away from you and pull away from you because your views don't align. But anyway, the NBA has done that. But then you have situations where, for instance, like Black Lives Matter. The NBA will go out there and say a few things. Players will now be very vocal about certain things. But when other things occur in society, you don't hear a mumbling word out of any of these guys, right? That's what Kyrie's talking about. Now, let's talk about it from a macro standpoint. Look at what's going on in the world. For example, look at what's going on right now in the state of California. It's an absolute mess. Okay. And this is something that I'm tracking from afar. I'm following these stories very closely, but from afar. And you essentially have the situation where you have illegal immigrants being rounded up left and right. And I guess the way that it's being done, the way that it's being conducted by ICE, it's unsettling a lot of people. So then people are now beginning to protest. And then the president is saying, hey, look, if you guys are resisting or impeding these guys from doing their job, you're going to face consequences. Next thing you know, they're sending the National Guard up there, Marines, and then the whole entire situation is just escalated every day. I'm opening up my computer or my phone. I'm seeing new footage of just what's going on in California. And it is looking like a state of emergency, but not just in California, by the way. What's happening across the United States? Protests are just breaking. I mean, it's crazy what's going on in America. It is absolutely crazy, right? But I gotta say this, it's in the spirit of being Americans, man. That's one thing I'll give Americans. That is one thing I will give Americans more than a lot of other countries in the world. And I'm being serious. Things will be going on in a country or a lot of countries where the people are afraid to stand up to the power structure. They will just take it. But Americans, they always fight. They always protest. No, you're not going to do this to me. Oh, you're not going to do this to me. They always protest. That's just the fabric of what it is to be in America. And this is no different. This won't be this ain't the first protest, and it definitely will not be the last one. If people feel like they don't agree with something that's going on in the United States, they're going to protest. This ain't the first time, right? There are many instances. So I give Americans credit from this standpoint. When they feel like something isn't right or it doesn't sit well with them, they're gonna make their voices heard, and I think that's a good thing. Some people say, "Oh no, it can lead to." I get all of that, but let me tell you what's worse than that. Silence is compliance. Not saying nothing and disagreeing with things going on around you and remaining mute can lead to even more devastating circumstances. Trust and believe you me. I'll give you guys a practical example of what I'm talking about. I live in Nigeria. A number of years ago, there were some protests that took place in Lagos, Nigeria, where students were protesting young people were protesting how they were being treated by certain law enforcement who was targeting young people because maybe they thought that they were, doing wrong things, and they would just be harassing people. You can be just going down the street, police can walk up on you, give me your phone, open up your phone, just harassing people. So young people eventually got fed up. They're like, this is crazy. This is crazy. You guys are harassing us. What is this? So they now went to go protest by the Lekki toll gate. Go punch in your computer, Lekki toll gate case or whatever it is, situation or whatever. The people started protesting. Do you know what the president of the country said? You will not protest. Do you know what the next thing that happened? Armed soldiers went on there and started opening fire on them. Started deleting them off the face of the earth, to the point where remember even the U.S. stepped in and said, told the Nigerian administration, don't kill your own citizens, right? So for those people saying, oh man, those keep it, that's what it will lead to. So people don't know what they're talking about. Because you haven't lived in countries where governments rule with an iron fist. You haven't lived in those countries before, so you're saying that. So you better be happy for the fact that in America, you at least have an opportunity to voice your opinion and the government won't throw you in jail. That is something that a lot of people in other countries don't get to enjoy. They don't get to enjoy it because today, people may be protesting something you disagree with, but tomorrow you may want to protest something that you disagree with, and then they now tell you, shut up or we're going to gun you down or whatever it is. Then you're going to realize the mess that you're in. It's what makes America what America is. Now, let's talk about it from a macro standpoint, given the example I just brought up. All of the things that are going on in California, for example, don't all these celebrities live in California? Don't all of you MFers live out there? All of the celebrities, the players, they all live there. It's crazy. Sometimes I'm talking to Mark and I'm like, ain't it crazy how all these people live in California? Ain't that crazy? They all live there. But you can't get a comment out of nobody. Nobody's saying nothing. Whether you're for what's going on or you can't even get a mumbling word out of nobody. And Kyrie then spoke about the fact that people want to be rich, want to be famous, want to protect. But in the case of most of these individuals that I believe he's alluding to without saying names, they're already financially secure. What I have discovered is this. There are a lot of people in the United States that have financial freedom, but are slaves. They are petrified to give a viewpoint on anything. Do you know why? Because even if they've amassed 10, 20, 30, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 million, they're still afraid to lose that money or whatever money they may get in the future. So they just remain perpetually silent. But then when a situation arises where they can give a political view or try to get behind a political agenda where they know if they go and give this view or campaign in this particular direction, and they know that if there's backlash and won't affect their dollars, they'll do it. Oh, get behind this. I'll do this. Get behind that. I'll do that. That's what Kyrie Irving is talking about. Kyrie is a man of his convictions, folks, whether you like him or not. I don't 100% agree with everything Kyrie Irving did because I'm not a follower, but he is a man of his convictions. He was willing to take whatever consequences that came with his actions because he believed what he believed. How many NBA players would have did what Kyrie Irving did in 2020 or 2021 with the decide not to get vaccinated? How many? That's the first part. And I can't help but think about a guy like LeBron, and I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of people say, well, Jordan didn't take any political stance. But there's a fundamental difference between a Jordan and LeBron. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you why. Jordan was at least consistently quiet. That's the difference. MJ was consistently quiet. He just refused to be a part of it all. But In the case of LeBron, he's very vocal. He's very, very vocal. He talk about that. He'll talk about this, what's going on there, what's going on there. He'll talk about this, what's talking about that. He was talking about I forgot what thing he got behind, but when they asked him about what's going on in China, everybody should shut their mouth. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, man. Whoa, wait up, hold up. That's when you get yourself in trouble. Because if you're going to talk, well, talk it out. Say, what's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on that? Or you just picking and choosing. You're just picking and choosing. But Kyrie is right. There are a lot of fake activists out there. A lot of fake activists out there. I can understand if you ain't got your money up and you want to protect your bag and you don't even have a bag yet and you're trying to build a bag and then go out there and say, which that's one thing. I totally get that. Nobody's going to throw away their financial future just because they want to start giving harsh critiques on various issues. I get that. But if you're financially secure and you're still running and hiding, you're pitiful. I'm sorry to say you're pitiful. You're pitiful. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Catch you on the next show. I'm out. Peace.